Yo, what's up guys? If you want a shout out or if you just want to support your boy, make sure you hit that like on this video. Subscribe, turn post notifications on. Lastly, click the link in the description below to download the app that is sponsoring me. All you have to do is download the app and then use it for a couple of minutes and you're good. After you've done all that, make sure you commented, I download the app, and you're done. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Yo, what's up guys? Prince Charming. Today we're gonna be checking out top 10 hilarious ripoffs of the most popular cartoon shows. So I don't know how they get away with ripping cartoon shows off. Like, I have no idea. Copyright on TV is insane. I don't know how they get away with it. But we're gonna be checking out some ripoffs of popular cartoon shows, so you're gonna recognize a lot of these, and I don't know where the ripoffs come from. They're probably like in Asian countries where it's like a totally different, like, you know, industry. But don't forget to hit me with a like on this video, guys. Subscribe and turn your notifications on so you never miss a post. Go ahead and comment your favorite foreign show. So yeah, it could be anime if you want to choose anime. My favorite foreign show, well, so I will have to choose anime. Attack on Titan, so good. It's not better than Dragon Ball as a whole, but that's because Dragon Ball is an entire franchise. Attack on Titan is just like 2 seasons in comics. Enough of me talking, let's go ahead and check out the hilarious ripoffs of popular cartoon shows. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
Number 10, The Amazing World of Gumball. Writing and trying to come up with jokes is pretty hard. I should know because I'm trying to do both of those things right now. Creating original characters who have their own unique look and personality is also pretty hard.
Pretty hard.
If you try and get around how hard these things are by copying someone too closely, so closely that a teacher would definitely catch you, you will get sued so hard you'll be back to buying the $1 loaves of bread that dissolve in your mouth.
Sued!
In China, where things are a teensy bit looser, you can largely just ignore copyright law, and thus Miracle Star was born. I mean, just look at it. They swapped out.
Oh my gosh!
And your typical American suburban, a big, tawny, blockish Chinese apartment building. And that's just about it. It's such an obvious ripoff that Cartoon Network actually made an episode called The Copycats, about the main characters discovering a family that imitates them. Number 9.
That is insane.
Gravity
It's
Falls.
such a ripoff.
Meanwhile, in another country that doesn't have the strictest of copyright laws, Russia, we have this pretty blatant ripoff of Gravity Falls. You can tell from watching the intro that it's basically the same thing.
This is Gravity
The story follows
Falls.
a young boy drawn in a very familiar looking but noticeably less fluid animation style, who is sent off to a rural village way out in the woods, not to spend time with Uncle Stan, but so that he can learn the Tartar language. And, obviously, so that he can have paranormal adventures.
This is
you can tell by his wacky interactions.
a terrible
with this
ripoff.
guy. You've also got this chick, who's obviously made out. I mean, just look at the sweater. I'm pretty concerned about what exactly is going on in this scene, though. I would not get into a motorcycle sidecar with that man. Possibly Russia has more lax standards on what can and can't be in children's cartoons.
Those were some crazy ripoffs, especially the Gumball one. Gumball and Gravity Falls one were both blatant ripoffs, but really the Gumball one, because Gumball's not even a good show. Why would you want to rip off a show that's not even that good? It's not even that funny. Like, come on, rip off a good quality show.
Number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, rip that off, yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been
Collect.
around for so long that they have a lot more than just one ripoff. Take, for instance, Kung Fu Dino Posse, which even
Oh,
has
gosh.
a Polynesian fighting style in the very title. It really
Oh,
is just
God.
the same thing. This bunch of young reptiles fights crime with the power of martial arts in the city. You've also got the slightly more creatively named The Adventure of T-Rex. Less creative, though, is their animal choice. Whereas Kung Fu Dino Posse at
T-Rexes?
least had a whole posse of different kinds of dinosaurs, The Adventures
They're
of
all
T-Rex is
T-Rexes.
straight T-Rexes, as you may have guessed.
I mean,
It's
turtles
about
are all
a group of
turtles.
reptile brothers who fight crime at night, and each have their own special color. Does this remind you of anything? The fact that you've probably never even heard of either of these shows really goes to show
Kung
that
Fu
nothing
Dino
replaces
Posse.
the original Turtles. Maybe it really is the irony of the turtles in real life are slow and don't know martial arts that really makes TMNT stand out from the imposters. Number 7, ScoobyDoo. Do you enjoy shows that
Raggy.
feature a gang of teenagers and their talking dogs solving mysteries, but are just sick and tired of watching Scooby-Doo? Luckily for you, there's
No,
another
what?
show that just so happens to fit this.
I didn't know that was a thing.
description. Goober and the Ghost Chasers. It's not entirely fair, however, as there are actually some major differences. For starters, Goober becomes invisible, making him way more powerful than Scooby.
Wow.
The dramatic difference is that a lot of the time, the ghosts they catch do actually turn out to be real ghosts. So if you think about it, the Ghost Chasers are way more powerful than the Mystery Gang, since they're dealing with real paranormal events and not just weirdos in costumes. They also drive a weird military...
Goober and the Ghost
6
Chasers.
wheels instead of a groovy van. Could this mean that they represent the pro-Vietnam establishment of the 70s, and ScoobyDoo represents the hippies? I mean, probably not. What's also strange is that Goober and the Ghost Chasers isn't exactly a ripoff, since it was actually made by the same company as ScoobyDoo. Is it possible to rip off yourself? I'm really not even sure.
What? How are you gonna create a own doo-doo version of a popular cartoon show that you already own? They were just trying to low-key double dip. They said, oh, well, this show is doing really well. Let's just put out something that is just like it, so people have more things to watch, and they're just gonna be like, oh, this is like Scooby-Doo, so I'll watch it again.
Number 6, The Fairly OddParents. A show about a kid who
It used to be good.
that will grant them wishes.
Now it
Every
sucks.
episode, their wish goes wrong, and they have to fix it on their own. I've just described The Fairly OddParents, but I've also just described the British-Canadian-Australian show
Pixel Pinky.
In Pixel Pinky, the main character Nina gets a phone on her birthday that contains a digital genie that for some reason grants her wishes.
I thought they were gonna do like some of the replacements.
On Fairly OddParents, it must be kept a secret. There's no explanation for why this happens though. To the credit of the Fairly OddParents, there's a whole lore explaining why Timmy got the fairies. This chick Nina just gets a genie for free. She didn't even have to suffer like Timmy did. Like most of these rip-off shows, you can tell that Pixel Pinky didn't have the same budget that Nickelodeon could afford to give the Fairly OddParents.
At all.
Even one of the characters on Pixel Pinky, a guy named Coolest Luke, was voiced by Nick Storr, who was also the sound designer and audio engineer. I'm not exactly an insider in the world.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm pretty sure that's not normal. You have to respect the hustle though. Number 5, Rocket Power. Honestly, who even needs Rocket Power, that late 90s, early 2000s show about kids doing extreme sports?
Didn't watch it.
Pretty much all anyone was thinking about during that time period. Who needs it when in 2012 we got Wild Grinders? You probably think it's the same thing.
Created by Rob Dyrdek?
Kids doing extreme sports. And because it is actually the same thing as Rocket Power. Well, take a closer look. Notice anything? That's right. The Wild Grinders, which I assume is what the main characters refer to themselves as, don't wear helmets except that one nerd-looking guy with the glasses.
And they go harder. Yeah.
Pansies who want to protect their skulls because they're not really down with the whole hardcore extreme sports.
Exactly.
Wild Grinders might be a total ripoff, but they aren't afraid to die.
But they're better. They're not afraid to die. If you don't get your little Uzi, all my friends are dead. Yeah, put me to the end. Yeah, all my friends are dead. The scariest person ever is a person who's not afraid to die. So remember that, especially somebody who has patience. Very scary.
Number 4, South Park. Ever wish that there was a show that had South Park's art style except slightly worse, and instead of being made in America, it was made in Kuwait? Block
Kuwait?
13 is definitely the show for your bizarre taste in culture. You can clearly see, it is literally the exact same art style as South Park. But maybe that can sort of be forgiven, because South Park itself is pretty much the same art style as a kid playing on a felt board, right? Well, the similarities don't stop there. Just look at this group of kids right here. Seem a little familiar? We've obviously got Kuwait and Carter, traditional takia instead of a beanie. Then next to him we have Kuwait and although I'm not sure why he doesn't get a hat. Then there's who I'm going to say is Hal, because his hat looks more similar to Hal's. The kid with the keffiyeh covering his face is obviously Kenny. He even ripped off the joke of Kenny being inexplicably killed in every episode. Does Block 13 also contain very topical satire of current events? I'm not sure, because I don't speak
Bro, look at this.
There are no subtitled versions anywhere on the internet.
This is terrible.
Adventure Time. China's take on Adventure Time has given us the vague ripoff that is the Legend of Lucky Pie. The opening image alone should make you very skeptical, since it features the protagonist raising up his arm on top of a mountain toward the title of the show. I wonder where they could have gotten that cool idea. The animation style is pretty similar as well, and you can see that the protagonist has those classic Adventure Time noodle limbs, as well as a backpack and
Noodle
a square
limbs.
head, just like Finn.
They roasting Finn.
Who's got his talking horse, so at least that's different, although it may be worth mentioning that Adventure Time has that as well. Apparently there's no hard feelings between the two shows, as Adventure Time storyboard artist Steve Wolfhand called The Legend of Lucky Pie
Cute. Wow.
Turkey also has their very own Adventure Time ripoff, called Ibby, featuring the noodle-armed backpack-wearing protagonist named Ibby and her
Why they have to have noodle arms?
Instead of a big whimsical treehouse, she's got a big whimsical turtle house. In terms of actual story though, unlike The Legend of Lucky Pie, it's pretty different from Adventure Time. Ibby is about teaching kids how to do math and stuff. There are still adventures, but they're just excuses to get kids to learn about numbers. Kind of like
Don't teach me.
So I guess that's
Ew.
although the style and character design is definitely ripped off.
What is the point of cartoons using the noodly arms? Is it to give their characters more of like elasticity? They want to be Mrs. Fantastic so bad. Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic, or Mrs. Incredible too. So that's what I was trying to think of. I said Mrs. Incredible and combined Mr. Fantastic because they have the same powers.
Number 2, The Simpsons. There are dozens of different dubs of The Simpsons that air all over the world.
Oh, God.
In all kinds of languages. But Georgia couldn't just be a normal country and do that.
Georgia?
No. Georgia just had to go ahead and create their very own ripoff of The Simpsons, the Samsonauts. Here's what the
This is
creator
really
had to say
gross.
in justification of this three-dimensional bizarre take on the iconic show.
Oh my
I want
god.
to say it straight. This is not The Simpsons. This is a Samsonadzes. This is all about a Georgian family with Georgian jokes, Georgian plot, with Georgian development,
Oh, God.
and with Georgian social
Simpsons.
humor. And I will be proud if anyone will compare these series with The Simpsons. Though we
Face
are no
palming.
match for it, of course.
In a way, it's actually kind of respectable that he straight up admits that the whole thing is a ripoff. Not that he really has a choice, because, I mean, come on, just look at it. Everyone
It
can
looks
tell anything.
terrible.
And he's definitely not wrong about the show dealing with Georgian themes. One episode features a shape-shifting Vladimir Putin, presumably something that the average Georgian has to worry about occasionally. While it quickly became the second most watched show in Georgia, apparently not everyone was into it. Maybe Georgian fans have just become
Second
way
most
faster than
watched.
American fans of The Simpsons did. If you made it this far, I'm going to bet you enjoyed it. Also, make your brain. Now let's get one of, if not the most popular cartoons of all
SpongeBob.
time,
Let's
with
get
its
it.
reputation being what it is. You just know that a ripoff was bound to happen at some point. And in 2006,
Honestly.
the world got that ripoff with Coconut Fred's.
This was a SpongeBob ripoff.
Hell, just from the intro, what's going on? A tropical theme, even if it's on land.
I forgot about
And a
this.
cheery yet still widely despised protagonist. Coconut Fred is kind of like an unholy fusion of SpongeBob and the.
It was trash.
Sounds like something you would rather not.
It was
have exist.
terrible.
You're not alone. The show was like Coconut Fred on his island of fruit salad, not popular. So not popular that it only lasted 13 episodes before getting canceled.
Because it was
The
awful.
voice of Coconut Fred, Rob Paulson, has even said that it was nothing more than a shameless SpongeBob SquarePants knockoff, and that
Ugh.
he didn't even like thinking about the show.
Good.
And as a bonus, it's worth mentioning the 2012 YouTube classic that some people have wrongfully promoted as a legitimate Chinese copy, SpongeBob in China. It's kind of racist, kind of clever, and more of a parody than a ripoff, and may just be the most iconic piece of SpongeBob-related internet memery. If you haven't checked it out, you should.
So that was it for that video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Those were some pretty hilarious ripoffs. I remember Coconut Fred. It was a god-awful show. I hated it. Terrible. But don't forget, if you want to like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you want to reply from yours truly, Prince Charming. My name is Prince Ohakam. Stay charming, my friends.